First up in the media conference for Neilsville, we'll bring in John Geyer, head coach, and then number 20, Jenny Linder, and number 22, Mackenzie Trunkle. For Oshkosh Lourdes, Coach Allison Fett will be accompanied by Lexi Peterman. Coach, congratulations on winning the state title.
Thank you very much.
Happy day for you. Can you begin by giving your thoughts about the game, and then we'll open it up for questions. Open up with your comments, please.
Well, just like yesterday, I will start with talking a little bit about Oshkosh Lourdes. We are privileged to have been able to play them and be able to hold them off. They are just a sensational team with some great players, and they had some shots that I'm sure they wish they would have had back that might have fallen, but they didn't. And the first quarter, I was a little bit worried because we weren't rebounding well. They really pounded the boards. We talked about it in our walkthroughs, but to see the kind of fierceness that they go to the boards with is hard to replicate in a walkthrough. So we really needed to make some adjustments defensively and crashing the boards defensively against them, and I was just real happy that offensively we could stay with our kids could stay with them in that first quarter and keep hanging around. And then when we were able to adjust a little bit to their rebounding intensity and getting out and identifying their shooters, we seemed to do much better. But it is pretty surreal right now to be here, and I always say that regardless, I guess, if you win a state title or not, the toughest thing is you know you're going to be in the locker room with those seniors for the last time, and that's hard on old guys like me to see that you're going to be with a group of kids for the last time, and of course this will be a cherished group, but every group of seniors we've had have been cherished groups to me. So this team was just a great team to pave the way in Neilsville. To show that it can be done, that it's not just a pipe dream, and that they can get it done. And I couldn't be more proud of the kids. That gold ball certainly belongs to them and not me, so I'm greatly appreciative of having the kids that I have.
Okay, I'd like to open up for some questions from the media. Taken from the back here first.
I'm also happy that Mackenzie stayed in the gym when she shot that 1-3. I didn't know if she was out of bounds when she shot that one, but evidently she was in bounds.
Yeah, Mackenzie, just talk about that three. I mean, pulled up right there. I don't think a lot of people expected you to pull up in that situation. But what were you thinking when you shot that?
Just confidence. Knew it had to go in. Knew what we had to do to get down here and play our hearts out.
And then just for pretty much all of you guys sub in. You guys look like a hockey team sometimes when you sub in. You guys have so much depth. How much have you leaned on that all season, Coach? If you want to start.
That's why we're here. Our top 15 kids. In fact, my assistant coaches reminded me that in Neilsville this year we did not lose a freshman game, we did not lose a JV game, and we did not lose a varsity game. We every one of our 3 high school teams were undefeated. So that tells you about the intensity of our practices and the type of kids that we get to practice against. And I really believe that. That is probably the difference in what has allowed us to have this success. Our practices are tremendously intense. You see the kids that come off the bench for us. We have a full-time trainer, and we need one because our practices are intense as a lot of the games that we play. But our depth has been the key to our success. Kids have stepped up at different times, and certainly these two have, and that's the reason we're here. It is absolutely a team effort, and a lot of kids deserve a lot of credit. Talk about depth.
Oh, yeah, our depth is incredible. I wouldn't trade any of my teammates for the world. That's how we got here. They helped us win every game, and they pushed themselves just like us.
Yeah, I agree with Jenny. That depth is key. It helps us get fresh new players on our team and just keep going hard.
You notice she didn't say she wouldn't trade her coach, though. That was, I'll remind her of that when we get out of here. But.
Coach, can you just talk about, Lord's pushed you quite a bit in that fourth quarter. They kept kind of lead down to 2 or 3, but you always seem to have an answer for that. Does that just speak to just the character and just the poise of your group?
Well, it's actually something we talk about. We talk about stringing good plays together and not compounding bad plays. And when you get the further you go in the tournament, the better every team is, and every team down here plays great defense. You got to be able to score the basketball, and so we talk about every time a team scores that we're going to have an answer to that, and even if it's a deep three, we've got to be able to answer, and our kids were able to do that. Yeah, they really fought down the stretch, and we lost 23 a couple times and didn't get her guarded the way we needed to. And if you give her a look, my gosh, she is a great player.
Can you talk about just having Lexi Peterman pick up her fourth foul and then having to sit for a while and then maybe having to play tentative maybe in the fourth quarter, and how that helped you go on a run for a while maybe?
Well, that was one of the fortunate things for us and unfortunate things for them, obviously, that she picked up her third and fourth fouls there, and you can't take a player like that off of any team and still be able to play at the same level. Although I thought their kids off the bench played very, very competitively and gave us everything we wanted. But that was certainly created an advantage for us. And she's just too darn good to not lose something when she's not in the game. She's a great player.
Coach, just talk about your defensive performance. It's kind of carried you all year. You didn't force a lot of turnovers today, but you held them to 31% shooting. Just talk about that.
Well, we didn't. We really tried to extend our defense only for a token because they've got so many. They move the ball really well, and they've got a couple kids that can really stretch as they did in the first quarter. So what we wanted to do is really kind of sink and clutter up the middle and make sure their posts couldn't guard us and get out to the two real special shooters that they had in 31 and 23. We thought if we could get to them and make other kids step away from the hoop and not get into the lane, that they may not be able to hurt us as badly from out there as they did inside. So it was part of our game plan to probably not force as many turnovers, but to really kind of sink and clutter and make sure we could get a hand on 23 and 31 and not lose them and play from inside out.
Coach, you talked about how special it is not only to win a state title but be unbeaten in the other levels, being unbeaten. Can you talk about how close, what a fine line it is going back to your sectional semifinal, and how that might have spurred perhaps, and the players can comment too, as to, how that might have helped you seal the deal here at state?
Well, I'm not, I certainly understand that it takes more than talent. You've got to be a little lucky to get through an entire tournament schedule and get here and be able to play. And I told the girls after that Thursday night game, we used up all of our luck. That we're going to have to perform from then on, because we tapped into luck a lot on that Thursday against Fenimore, and some things fell our way that probably wouldn't fall our way all the time. But what I really liked about the Fenimore game is we were down 4 with 40 seconds to play, and their best player was on the free throw line shooting free throws. But these kids came down and just refused to lose in that 40 seconds. I think we kind of started to believe that we might be a little bit charmed at that point, being able to come back from that and being able to play. And we knew we could play better, and I think they have since then.
John, you've got that unique dual role of head girls basketball coach and district administrator, but can you talk about what this means not only for your program but for your whole school and the community at large?
Well, you saw the school spirit that we have down here and the community that came down here. And I joked on the TV station, I hope the last person out of town turned the lights off, because I don't think there's anybody left in Neelsville right now. But it's great for the community. The superintendent has tried to fire the girls' basketball coach in the past few years. I'm both. So I've tried to fire him a few times, and he keeps being stubborn and coming back, I guess. But it is just, there's nothing better in a small town than when you're having some success in athletics or extracurriculars of some sort, where the pride of an entire community rides on the backs of 16 and 17-year-old kids. It's just amazing. And but what I think is really special about the Neelsville community is these kids are so easy to cheer for. I mean, if you look at our honor rolls and you look at academic success and you look at what kids are involved in all the other extracurriculars, including fine arts, it's these kids. So these kids are great kids who are easy to cheer for, who are easy to rally around, and the community's done a great job of that.
For the players, Jen, if you could start first, just talk about making history and going undefeated in the process, just what that means for you two personally.
It's incredible. I knew we could do it. Everyone had to have faith, and we all believed in each other. And I'm speechless right now. I'm so proud of my team. I love them all.
Same as Jenny. We came down and did what we had to do and wouldn't trade it for anything. There's not even words to describe it right now.
Seeing no other questions, thank you for coming in. Congratulations.
Thank you for having
Enjoy
us.
it.
Thank you.
All right.
Right away, that's what you'll have in college next year, is you'll know what's going on right away.
Coach, it was a tremendous season for you. If you could, though, reflect back on this game, your thoughts as it went along, and then we'll open it up for questions from the media. Go ahead.
Okay. We knew they were a heck of a team, and we had a strategic game plan coming in, and much like Regis, we made some adjustments and tried our best to make those adjustments, and I just kind of felt like we ran out of time. I had some kids into foul trouble, and it caused us to change up some things and run some different lineups that we're not normally used to running, and it just didn't quite go our way. But I'm so proud of them. I can't even begin to express how proud I am of this group of girls. And again, like I've said this whole time, we're just very blessed to be a part of such a wonderful tournament.
Allie, Lexi got off to a nice start, and then she got in the foul trouble. How tough is that to, have her off the court and try to keep up with Neelsville?
I've been with her since she was in sixth grade, and usually I have that feeling in the pit of my stomach when I think maybe today's a day she could get into foul trouble because we've been together for so long. I didn't have that feeling, Doug, so it was quite a surprise. It was tough. She's a leader. She's a senior. She's a captain. She's an all-state kind of player, and so when you have to limit her minutes, that's going to take us off of our game plan quite a bit, and that's what it did. So that was tough. That was tough on us right away.
Allie, what impressed you the most about Neelsville, and how hard was it to prepare for an unbeaten team trying to finish off history in their community for the first time on 1 day's notice or 2 days' notice?
We had some scouting reports that I felt were very, very accurate, and we had the tape of their regional game, their state semifinal game, and we knew their length was going to be a factor, and we knew that zone was going to be a factor, and he's a heck of a coach. I mean, he made some adjustments as well when we started doing some different things offensively, and so, yeah, it is tough. I wish you kind of had a ball that kind of told you how it was going to shake out so you could plan a little bit more and get everybody prepared, but, that's why it is basketball, and that's why it is the way it is, and again, it's just a fun game, and we just enjoy it tremendously. Okay.
Coach, you had about a 10-minute stretch there in the middle portion of the game where he didn't hit a field goal and couldn't hit score really, but still when you hit that three-pointer, you took a lead. Just to be in that situation where you can't hit a field goal and all of a sudden you hit one shot and you got the lead, I mean, that's a pretty special defensive effort against this team. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah. Our kids are relentless, and, they're used to, they like to score. Obviously, they're a kind of run-and-gun type of team, and when we are in a situation where we're not scoring, it becomes tough because, a lot of times defense sparks our offense, but also sometimes offense sparks our defense. And so with that, it was tough. But again, our kids they're used to hitting big-time shots. They're okay with that. And so when we got that 3 to go, it felt good. And again, we just needed a little bit more time on that clock.
Lexi, I know you didn't want to win a silver this weekend, but talk about the experience of getting down here and playing for playing for the gold ball, trying to win it, and kind of what it meant to you.
It was incredible. Getting here my senior year, it was one of our goals. We've always talked about it. It felt amazing to beat Regis and then get to the championship game. But to come up short is definitely heartbreaking. But I know we played our hearts out, and that's all we can do.
Allie, the young lady who held the ball at the end of the game with the knee brace, what's her story, and was it unusual to get her in the game?
Yeah, that's our Lauren Fisher, and I hope you'll see a lot more of her here in the years to come. She's only a sophomore currently, and unfortunately she suffered a knee injury, which ended her career here for this year. She hurt it right before we went down to the Milwaukee tournament, and she actually earned herself a starting spot. That's how tough of a kid and talented she is. So she had earned a starting spot and lost that to her knee-ending injury for the year. But she's been a constant support. She's a huge factor in our team, and she will continue. You'll see a lot more of her in years to come, but it was just important for her to get that experience and be able to touch the ball. And I tried to tell the defender, hey, she's not looking to do anything. They're playing to the last minute, too. That's what great teams do. And I just said, she's not looking to do anything. Just let her catch and have a moment. So it was special.
Allie, I guess what is that big shiny silver trophy sitting next to you? What does that symbolize for what this group has accomplished, and what does that mean to the school?
It means a tremendous amount. I kind of get choked up because I am proud. Obviously, it's not exactly the color we want. The girls talked about spray painting it, but I don't know if that would help. We are very, very proud. This group of seniors, this group of girls in particular, and I just said to them in the locker room, there's not another set of girls that I'd rather sit in this moment with than them. And I'm just so proud. Our coaching staff is literally, we are family. We have spent the last, 3 weeks together, eat, sleep, breathing basketball, and trying to put these guys in a position to win and succeed. And my gosh, their execution on all levels, I'm just so proud of them. And this means a great deal to our community and to Lourdes High School.
I know you have a welcome home tomorrow, but after that, how do you unwind? Given all the emotion you poured out, Allie, in this state tournament run.
I think I got a little bit left here, and we're going to celebrate. We're going to be positive. We're going to be excited and gracious, and we will continue to be humbled by this because this is pretty special. The support, the feelings, the high fives, the cheers, all of that, we're going to suck it all in and love up on it for a while here. Thank you.
That's all we got. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you so much.